Do it
So,
once everybody's here.
Larissa, did she kill you for mocking?
No, she killed me when I insulted her. Slashing.
Alright, well, I got an important mission right.
Mock was saved.
I'm so tempted.
How do we declare all the trash?
I don't know why that's so funny to me. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know.
Brother was kiss and make up with Sarah.
Almost as good as the elevator guys.
See, y'all thought I was making it up, but there is an
Wait, there's an achievement?
There's an achievement. Perform various
I gotta
emotes
figure
to
it out.
earn Queen Azhara's favor in the Eternal Palace. Then
do
defeat
you
the
get
Queen's
her
Court on
favor?
normal difficulty or higher.
It's not what I thought.
What are the emotes that earn her favor?
We're not doing this right now. You guys.
Can I get an invite when you get a chance?
Oh, wait.
Did you do lick?
No.
Try lick. I gotta go try lick.
Is that an email?
Yes, it is.
Okay, rub is not one.
Rob.
What?
What about
Just trying
farting
some.
on her?
Just trying.
How about grind?
Oh!
You're supposed to earn her favor.
She killed you for licking her?
Well, it's
No, for farting, I
non-consensual
believe.
licking. She should kill you.
She didn't kill me for licking, she killed Upper Decker for farting.
Oh,
This is the greatest mechanic that has ever been put in
so
the game.
stupid. Splash.
Try it, Smash. It's a good one.
I just.
Come, my loyal servants, greet our guests. After all, they traveled such a long way.
Is
to
this
pay
the
us a
boss?
visit.
It's probably like a gauntlet or something.
Rockshot the Swift.
It's a council, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quit trying to fist her, Cal.
Cal? This is so dumb.
You know, usually we try to spend our days trying to find out not to die.
I know.
My subjects seldom face a true challenge. You
Oh.
might try to provide them with one.
I
Yeah,
mean,
just
if she was
try
smart,
something
if she was smart, she'd just do that to all of us. She could just one-shot everybody.
Well, that's assuming she wants us to be dead.
Did you heart center?
Yeah, she couldn't take it anymore.
I should. I've been waiting for summons for 2 years.
Never summoned her.
I summoned you.
I didn't get anything.
I
There's a
summoned you.
summon
And I
There's
summoned
a summon icon.
you. It
Yeah, I
shows it's
tried to
on
summon you
and then I
too,
asked
so,
if anybody else needed to summon.
I must have missed the summoning party too.
Well, you came after.
You have proven entertaining.
put a
so
clause
far.
down.
I think we should get
Now it is time
back
for the
up.
real show to begin.
Get out of the middle, please.
Yep, that's the boss.
Oh my god. Get
Oh,
over
these.
here.
Have you noticed the banners around? They tell you what all the mechanics are.
But they haven't figured out the order or anything. I'm looking at the achievement right.
Hey Tay, can I get a weapon enchant?
Hmm. Which one do you want? Have you looked at the new ones?
Yeah, that new one, that one
So
gave me the other
stupid.
day.
The Machinist Brilliance.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Ant Man. Yeah. You guys, the feast. I'm not putting down another feast.
There were so many emotes I didn't even realize there was a feast. Oh, I'll put down a call down too.
Does this happen during the fight too? Did she kill people if you do it during the fight?
I think so.
God.
Cauldron in the back.
Okay, this one's gonna be a little more complicated, these next 3 bosses, so we're gonna go through and review every. These 2, like Cabal, they have to die within a few seconds of each other. I think it's 15 seconds of each other, and if they don't, they'll heal to 50%, so it's basically a failure. And they also have to be separated by 21 yards. We're probably going to put the melee guy in the middle and the caster on the edge for the mechanics. And then the tanks will be swapping. Now the decrees are the Simon Says mechanic that was much hype, where you have to follow instructions based on, I assume that each of these little like banners will light up when that one's active.
Yeah, if you click on them, the buff on them says what they do.
The one that has you not able to cast the same spell twice is a bummer for some of us.
Yep.
It's just twice in a row, not twice.
Yeah. When you only have 2 spells.
Oh
So,
no, that's
no spamming Frostbolt, sorry.
oh.
You gotta switch back and
Throw in an Ice Lance in there. It's okay.
Maybe
I don't see the buffs, so what are they?
So there's
Okay,
Form
so this one's
which
repeat
is-
performance is when active, using any spell or ability twice in a row, inflicts arcane damage to the player.
And silence.
The next one is form ranks. It doesn't say silence.
Where are you seeing the
Form
buff?
ranks, it's on if you click on the banners. Form ranks is when active, a random series of formations appears in the arena. Getting players into position before the formation expires mitigates the damage taken from the decree. I guess there'll be stuff on the ground and we have to get in that formation.
There's basically four golden soak zones that appear, and within 5 seconds they'll explode, and just has to have one person in each one.
Okay. So the
and
next
they're usually near the middle, so that's why we tank the melee guy in the middle because he has another mechanic that requires us to all be near him. And then so if those overlap with the soak, then we can just step inside.
The next one's Obey or Suffer. When active, taking any damage causes a player to absorb all healing done to them for 5 seconds. So don't take damage. The next one's Deferred Sentence. When active, all players take nature damage while moving. So standing still stores this damage until the player moves again. So you do actually kind of have to move every once in a while, because if you wait a really long time and then suddenly move, it's going to all hit you at once.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to move like 3 or 4 stacks.
Yeah. Stand Alone is when active, getting too close to other players inflicts nature damage to both players. And that's all of them.
So you just gotta follow those instructions when they appear.
Are we gonna split up into 2 different DPS teams? since
Yeah,
we have to-
basically range will be on the caster and melee will be on the whatever syllabas. But range, you still want to be standing. You want to be standing near the middle, so that even if you're DPSing the caster, you don't want to be near them because there's a mechanic where you have to stack near the melee guy.
Is it like a soak thing?
No, it's a
Just split damage?
there's an eruption where he puts a big circle. I think it was a bubble on PTR, but maybe it's a circle now, where if you anything outside of the circle will take damage, and inside of the circle is safe, and it's centered on the melee boss. So you can imagine if that happens at the same time as the soak decree, then you want that circle to enclose all 4 of the soak zones, which will
So like Unat
on
Bubble.
Yes, it's like standing in the bubble on the tank bubble on Unat, similar. Or there was that wasn't there that there was a mechanic on like some dungeon boss that was like if you stand inside this hurricane, the eye of the hurricane, you're safe and everything outside is damaged. It's basically that.
Yeah, Lich King.
And then there is a charge that targets a single person and splits. So you want to soak it with multiple people, but you also want to take it outside of the raid because once you get hit, it drops a frost pool. So everybody, I don't know how many people you need, maybe like it's 442k it says on heroic, so maybe 4 or 5 people, maybe all the ranged, try to stack with the person who runs out, and then you run that out, and then you have to move back in case the decree or whatever eruption goes off. So basically the danger here, like every other council boss, is when certain mechanics overlap. So you can imagine if you get the charge but you have some decree that says don't move, or like other people have ones that say don't stack together with you, then it can be a little dicey. And then the caster does a mark that explodes and does damage to people within range. So if you get marked by Fanatical Verdict, you move out of the raid and just let it explode and move back in. And then there is a outburst where she casts for 5 seconds and then does damage to the whole raid that drops off the farther you are away. So that's why that's another reason why range should not be near the caster, even though they're damaging her. You should be near the middle so that you can move away when that happens and take less damage. And then the last thing is the Potent Spark, which is basically just the bomb mechanic from Botanist, where there's 3 sparks and they put a debuff on you when they die, and if another one goes off while the debuff is still on you, then you take extra damage. So you want to kill one immediately, then kind of, modulate your damage on the second one until your debuff falls off, and then kill it to reapply your stacks and leave the third one alone to kind of expire on its own. Okay, and that's it. It's just overlaps of those things. Any questions?
Yeah, could you go through that again? I sort of nodded off.
Well, there's 2 bosses, and one of them's a melee and one of them's a range. We tank the
Oh, I got
melee
that
boss
part.
in this. And there's these decrees that go off. If you click the banner, there will, if you have the default UI or if you have an adequately not minimalist UI, you should see the buff that makes you do what it says. And whenever there will be an announcement whenever that happens, and you need to follow those instructions or else you'll take some kind of penalty. Those are the main things. Otherwise, you want to stay near the middle, roughly spread, move out when targeted by the charge from the melee boss, and also soak with other people when they're targeted by the charge. And then when the orbs spawn, you kill one. So they're always in the same place. I don't know where they are right now, but once they spawn, let's put up markers, and then we'll work out an order like we do for botanist. And then we'll try to just call out as we go.
Okay, thanks. The orb was the part I missed.
Sorry, what?
I said thank you. The orb part was
Yeah.
the one I missed.
Okay. Any other questions?
So we're killing orbs on the left side first, melee side first, and then the one by the range. And
It'll be
send them the other
kind
way.
of in a. I imagine it'll be in a circle around the middle, so they'll all kind of be in equal range. So the first time, we'll just call out as we go, but after that, as we're doing that, I'll try to put down markers so that we have a designated sequence for the future ones.
I think the is there a specific place we're taking the charge?
The charge you just take to the edge.
Any
and
edge? Okay.
Any edge, as you probably don't want it near the caster boss, but generally speaking, just outside of the raid is fine. Because it drops the pools, you can't run into the same place every time, right? Because there will be a pool there, so you want them. There's no penalty in having the pools near each other, but you don't want to obviously run into an existing one.
Okay.
Let's just assume for now, if nothing else is happening, just run in the opposite direction of the caster boss. So if say we tank the caster boss near where she's standing, and then the melee boss is in the middle, then you would run the pool just straight to the back of the room, the charge.
Okay.
And then you can kind of space the subsequent ones around there roughly, so that the soakers who are going to help you know to kind of move in that same direction. Cool.
Tank for the caster, will they need anybody to run over for any soaking, since they're going to be off in the middle of nowhere most of the time on their own?
I don't think there's any mechanic that requires them to do.
I don't think we can.
They just have to
target it by
swap. Yeah, they shouldn't get targeted by the charge, I would assume. It's usually.
How many people need to stand at these things? Is it everyone?
It's not everyone. It says here. Let's see what it says on.
Which, from the decree or from the charge?
The charge.
Decree. I don't know.
Like 400
Decree.
charge.
Decree. I don't care about the charge.
Which decree?
It's
all of them.
The soak one just does
I don't get it.
does like 100k, and so that's okay. You only need one person to soak it, and I don't think there's anything that tells you to group together, is there?
No, you need to be within 8 yards of the player getting charged.
That's the.
These are just
For information,
things that she
it
does.
says
What's
that
the point of the decrees here, of these actual banners?
It
What's
just
the
shows you
point
which
of
one's
them?
active.
They'll
just
probably
shows you
light
what they
up
are.
and tell you.
Yeah,
is
they light up
active.
when they're active.
Probably.
Is when they're happening. So for the form ranks, it's each formation has to have a player in it. And also so it inflicts 53,580 arcane damage, and each position with no player in the formation increases that damage.
Anyway, let's give it a shot.
And
see
when that's
what-
active, that happens every 10 seconds. So that's going to be a lot of moving.
I'm gonna just put down markers in a triangle for now and hope that they spawn kind of near them, and we'll just adjust them as necessary.
I was reading that the third orb dies on its own.
Yes, that's correct. So we kill one
you nuke
immediately.
one,
fast.
wait.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they appear in normal mode.
That would be convenient. What is it called? Potent Spark. It's there in the dungeon.
Nina,
room.
we actually had this exact mechanic was on a boss
It's in
in the
Botanist.
Nighthold and Legion. Or with orbs, a boss called the Botanist. I don't think you were. She wasn't.
No, I
back
missed
yet.
all of Legion. Yeah.
Let's hope they
So
spawn.
these
Nasty
were
boss.
probably- Yeah, it was. We spent a lot of time on it. He was a
Why
little
don't we
bit
just try it?
We're gonna try starting near Skull, whichever orb spawns there. I'll call it either left or right of it, or whatever. Okay.
When do we lust?
Let's just do it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Potent Spark appears to be in all Mythic, Normal, and
You back, Vauban?
Probably taking a nap.
A cat nap. I love that cat form so much.
Quick, someone moon.
And I'm not at all bitter about how much easier it was to get than the bear one.
Which toy did you use to copy it?
Oh, it's a mage ability called Illusion.
Oh. I mean, I have this. Where is it? It's not quite the same because I'm a little bit ethereal, but
all right, let's kick him. Let's go.
Vauban, you
I'll do
here?
One more check.
Is he in? Oh, yeah, I know he's in.
It says he's marked AFK by the system.
Yeah, he just was right now.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there you are. I can't hear you. I saw your thing light up. Yeah, I can't hear you, but okay, he's
Well,
back.
Let's pull.
There's going to be extra tank
5,
damage during
4,
the
3,
part where we all stack
2,
in the middle, since
1.
the tank with the caster needs to be. First thing's going to be Spark. Here comes the sparks. Get the one marked with star first. We'll do circle second. Form ranks.
I command you to provide
Wait for the debuff to fall off. Oh, there's no debuff. We just kill him.
Not on normal. Heroic has it though.
I'm at 8. Swap.
Got a
separation of power. Form rank. Zealous eruption.
get in for eruption.
I shall
There's the charge.
Bring to the edge.
Run out ults. So there's the pool that it drops, see?
Nothing.
Sorry.
And at 7.
I am willing to obey my edicts or suffer the consequences.
Stupid DBM said stack on.
I mean, you do
You
want
gotta bring to the edge and then we all stack.
Violent outburst.
Run away.
Potent spark.
There's the sparks up. Get star first. Charge. Get stacked. Move that out. Star first, then circle, then di- Wait for diamond. Just let it finish on its own.
I shall strike you down. I am stand alone. Stand alone.
All right, we gotta stand ult.
Or suffer the consequences.
Who's got charge?
Zealous eruption.
Move to the boss. Move to the zealous. Get in the boss. Still try to stay spread.
Stand alone. Stand alone.
Caster boss needs more.
Can melee go over there?
They can.
Put the debuff on him, doesn't it? Or is that
Charge. Charge. Get stacked.
Where are you going, Chanta?
It's okay.
I was trying to go out to the edge.
Violent outburst.
It's only for the violent outburst that you
Run out for outburst, and then get star first.
I command you to provide more entertainment.
This is the one where you move periodic.
I shall strike you down.
Charge. Get stacked.
Let's go ahead and swap.
I think there's enough stack.
Melee's ahead of range.
Yeah, range needs more. Can one of the melee go over there?
Next eruption's coming.
Zealous eruption. Open and Pageant suffer. grows tiresome. I command you to provide more.
This is the one where you can't take damage.
I shall strike you down.
Alright, swap.
Oh shoot, there was a charge.
Potent spark.
Okay, we need.
Sparks are up. Get star first.
Do we want to res Sabash?
Yeah. Just use reses
safe to
liberally. Right now, it's just normal.
Violent outburst.
Who has it?
I'm over here. Nope, I'm gone.
Or suffer.
We'll make a stack point next time.
I couldn't see who had it or where you were.
Yeah, the warning is not as visible.
Well, and I'm on the opposite side of the other pools, so it's hard to see my pool.
Form rank. Form rank.
How is it?
Move that
Who
out.
has it?
It's right in the center now.
Zealous eruption.
Get in near.
Melee
I
boss.
think I did the
ones
same
more.
thing.
Sparks are coming.
Slow
It's
down on caster boss.
Star first.
You pay my edicts or suffer the consequences.
Star, then circle.
Violent outburst.
Bosses are even.
Go up and run that out. Good. Keep
More
them
on the
even.
caster.
Charge.
Not more on the caster.
What is it?
Swapping.
Stand alone.
I command you to provide
Don't stay on top of it.
We're about to get. Stay up.
Push them both over.
Just kill them both.
desperate measures.
Nice job.
You show such heart.
Yeah, we definitely need a marked, distinct stack point for the charge. I was expecting there to. A few times it seemed like there was a big visual indicator of who was targeted, but a lot of the time there didn't seem. Maybe it's a
Can't
bug.
have the stack point for it.
You just need to move them around the edge, so you
Yeah.
stack it where the last one landed.
Yeah, we'll just
and you
like have
move
them
it
go
around the edge.
clockwise or something. Yeah.
Rare, do you need that?
What did I get?
No. Do you need this male Azurite?
Someone hit this real quick, please.
Let's see. What's we got? Synapse Shack. No.
Okay.
No, thank you though. It's about the same as what I. Plus, I'm an engineer, so I'm going to be making one better. Are we going up or down?
We are going down.
I'll take it, Dave, if you don't want it.
Oh,
Just
sure.
Go,
Yeah,
just go west
open
on the
trade.
map.
Make sure someone stays by the summonings. Dawn, so we can
No,
get
no.
upper deck.
I summon myself back.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
Wait, is it? Yeah, I guess it's for all.
Yeah, it's just now.
Work for hunters too.
Oh my. Oh.
Awkward.
Yeah, that thing hits everybody real hard.
I didn't even get there yet.
Oh, I got two more. Did you guys get two reliquaries from that, or was it random?
Yeah, two.
Yes, no. So what happens is there was a thing about it today. It's going to be hotfix next week so that you get more. They didn't hotfix it today because they didn't want to unfairly punish people who had already done bosses. You will get more per boss next
Can we
week.
get
As of
healers
this
down
week,
here?
Well,
it's
we
2
would, but we
per
died.
boss that drop them. And you get an extra one for the first boss, or in the first clump that you get. So as of right now, it's 2 per normal boss and 6 per heroic. It will be more than that starting next week. Also, if you do normal and then heroic, you get the number on both. If you do just heroic, you get the number that you would on both.
Well, that's convenient.
So you're not like, you don't have to
do
focusing
normal
on
and heroic.
aggression and only doing heroic when we get there. But if we get stuck on Ajara for some reason or something, on normal Ajara, we may want to go try heroic of the first 3 bosses, because then we can get both normal and
Okay,
heroic.
question.
Also, I think
that he
those-
puts on about listen, stop for a sec. Those debuffs that he puts on about 5 people is
Oops,
the damage
that was
happening
an axe.
is the damage happening when it's dispelled?
Yes, that's what I was about to say. I think that's
Okay,
right.
so somebody did, yeah.
You want to stagger them, basically.
But yeah, and the first of the Aqueous Reliquaries, you get a week, you get a bonus one. So that's why we got 3 the other night when we did Radiance, and we only got 2 off that boss. That is as expected.
So it's actually working for us. So
But that means we should all, when we start re-clearing next week, when we do Radiance, we should all have enough to get our rank 1s. Because we should all have 5 now. And we only need 4 more for the rank 1.
Let me recommend Rogue's not pulling threat.
I think he did.
Might be a fixate or something.
Oh, a couple people have those floating things, and I'm not sure what they are. Or if they're just kind of running with our group.
Ask. I bet you it has something to do with the what you have equipped on your neck.
What floaty thing?
If you see, there's little blue-purple kind of balls, like kind of like wisps, floating behind a couple people. It's hard to see when we're fighting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of spell effects going on, but they're behind a couple people.
Yeah, Tay has one, DVE has one.
It's a lot of blue balls in this raid.
Oh, those are void things.
They're very pretty, but don't stand in them. No revival!
I didn't revival.
Somebody dispelled all of it.
I didn't. Not guilty.
I don't think I dispelled anything.
No other way to do it than revival.
My revival is on cooldown for another 40 seconds, which means I most definitely did not use it 10 seconds ago.
I think if you step in one of the void things, it clears it. It seems to be what's happening.
Clears it on everyone?
Everybody who had it was standing in one.
Or it's also possible that none of us dispelled and they all just wore off at the same time.
No, they went off immediately when they got applied. It was
Wow.
really weird.
Yeah.
Alright, here's the boss.
Presence here. Tendrils strangling my mind.
The locks weaken. The world screams.
Okay, this is the complicated one.
Oh.
Resolve rises once more.
The last one wasn't the complicated one?
No, last one was pretty
Nope.
simple.
Yeah, that was easy. I mean, it was theoretically complicated, but nothing really hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
we-
gonna be real bad on heroic.
Normal mode.
We'll have a great time. It'll be like Coven.
There's no time
My
to warn
favorite
the
boss.
others. We must end this, champions. Now!
Okay. So this boss has it's actually pretty convenient because his initial phases, he'll kind of teach you the mechanics for the later phases. But in all the phases, there's a tether on the tanks, which they'll handle by standing near each other. But you do not want to be stacked on the tanks in case it gets on you, because that makes you split damage with whoever the tank is, which is not good. And then that's the debuff that we had earlier that was getting dispelled that exists here, where it's like 2 to 4 people depending on our raid size. I think we were seeing 4, and whenever they're feared, so they're going to be running around, and then when they're dispelled, it'll do raid wide damage. So we want them to be dispelled in a staggered fashion, unless the damage is not. So people were saying that the damage actually got scaled down a bit. So I don't know if it's as bad as the trash, then we probably want to stagger it. But if it's super trivial, then we might want to try something like tremor toteming
Would
it
they
and
have
getting rid of all of them.
would they have scaled down the boss but not the trash?
That's possible. We'll see. And then initially, let's try just manually dispelling one at a time. But the problem with that is people who are feared are running around, and he puts a darkness ring around the area like Unat does. So if you run into the ring, you take a lot of damage and stuff. So it's a bit dangerous to not to stagger too long. I guess you want to get it off as quickly as possible. So why don't I'll go ahead and dispel the first one, and then let's have Tay dispel the second, and Kale's dispel the third. Or no, I guess Chanta has mass dispel, which won't
I
cost the
can also
cooldown.
and I can also single dispel. So I've got 2 dispels.
And then you've also got tremor. Let's do.
It's a fear?
Yeah, it's a fear.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Are people running? I
Yeah.
didn't see anybody running on the trash.
Oh yeah,
I saw
10-second fear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's try all single dispel the first one, and then let's do Zephyr second, and then by that time it's an 8-second cooldown. So if we do 4 seconds apart, I'll just alternate with Zephyrs, and then you guys can save yours in case you see somebody running off the side, and if it's an emergency, then just dispel them immediately and call it out, and we'll delay the others. So that way, only 2 of us have to watch unit frames, and the rest, and then you can watch the raid.
Yeah, if you're staggering by 4 seconds, it's just going to fall off people anyhow by 10
How
seconds.
long does it last?
10 seconds? Well, it was running 10 seconds on the track.
Yeah, it says 10
we're not going to count 4 seconds. There's going to be a dispel. We'll see what everybody's health is before the next person dispels. That's what they'll.
Let's just go in order then. So we'll do, I guess, in order of unit frames. It'll be me, Chanta, Tay, Zephyrs. So you can see everybody, take the tick of damage, and you'll know that the one previous to you has gone off. And you can also see how many debuffs are left, I guess. So when 4 are left, I'll do it. Sorry.
What's the name of the debuff?
It's called Dread, I think.
Yes.
See if I can find it. Yep. So when there's 4 left, I'll dispel, and when there's 3 left, Chanta will dispel, and then when there's 2 left, Tay will dispel. And Kales, you can either let it fall off if the person who's feared is not near an edge, or you can try to do the last one before 10 seconds. And then the other one that's active at all times is the big tentacle portal, which will summon. He'll basically summon a big portal at the edge of the circle in a random point on the edge, and after a few seconds, a giant tentacle just kind of slaps straight across the circle, kind of bisecting it. So you do not want to be in the line in front of that portal. Okay. So now that's what's active at all times. There's multiple phases. I think there's 4. And so the first 3 will show us each of the 3 realms, and then the 4th one, all of the realms will be active. So the first phase is the, I guess, the normal realm, which we're currently standing in, and he'll spawn some summoners, which will open a little tear portal, which will bring out little crawler ads. The crawler ads will, okay, so first of all, the portal channel that the summoner does lasts for what? How many seconds? 20 seconds? 120 seconds? Oh, it's 2 minutes. So if it finishes, we die. So you want to kill all 3 of them before they finish their cast on the portal, which shouldn't really be a problem. The small ads are kind of trivial, but after a minute, they will turn into a big ad that's really bad. So we want to kill them. Passive cleave is probably enough, and multi-dotting to just kill them, before before a minute is up. But we'll use your judgment, see how long it's taking for them to die. But otherwise, we just want to group them up in AoE. That's all that happens in phase 1. And then at 85%, it's phase 2, where we all go into the fear realm. That gives us hysteria, which is, if you look in the dungeon journal, just makes you take damage. It looks like it's just a stacking debuff.
You don't become mind controlled.
It doesn't say that, at least. And then he does, let's see, Manifest Nightmare, which, oh, it's like the that fire debuff on Gul'dan that was like you got to run out and you drop fire pools under you constantly while you're moving. It's basically that. So you get, it's a 6-second debuff, and every tick you'll drop a shadow pool on the ground, and it does a ton of damage if you stand in it. So you just want to be continuously moving, or moving outside of the pool that you just dropped, basically, to drop the second one,
to the
and
edge.
third one, and so on. Yeah, and you want to be near the edge. Now you start dropping it almost immediately when you get the debuff. So we need people to preemptively kind of be ready to move and kind of be out a little bit before the debuff goes out. But we'll see how the timing is. And then after a few seconds, each of the pools you drop spawns a little ad, which is the same as the little ads that were coming out of the portals, and you just kill them down normally. And then there's a tank mechanic. Well, I guess it's a raid mechanic where he makes a big void circle on the ground that will explode and kill us, but the tanks can drag him over that circle to get rid of it. And it will only do damage to people within 10 yards. So what will happen is the circle will spawn, the tanks will drag him over there. The rest of us stay pretty far away, like at least 10 yards away from the circle, let it go off, and then immediately after that, he takes 30% more damage for 20 seconds. So you want to burn him in that period. And then after 70%, it's Delirium Realm. I guess it's Hysteria and then Delirium. And then there's a sequence, basically a line of 3 little pools in front of him that appear that need to be soaked. If you soak it, you get sent to the Delirium Realm. So I guess the rest of us will be in the regular realm. But the nice thing about that is when you are inside the Delirium Realm, you have 80% more haste, and you do a lot more damage, which is needed for some of the other mechanics later. But for now, it's just a nice DPS increase. You'll also gain Hysteria as you stay in there. And then once you die there, you will be sent back to the normal realm, and you'll be stunned for a little bit. But you probably want to just stay there as long as you can to do as much damage as possible. So let's assign DPS to go down there probably, because I don't know if it's one person will be sent down per pool, or if everybody who's standing in a pool will get sent down. It seems a little odd. Actually, well, let's try it with
damage to him, right?
What does
Not
damage
to
to?
ads. I mean, it's not to ads or anything.
You get 80% haste to everything you do. You have 80%
I mean, I was thinking it might be good to have dot classes down there so that even after they die, it's still ticking on them. But I don't know. Does it matter?
Well, if it's 80% haste, your dot will expire, I guess,
Yeah.
80% faster, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Let's have, I think you can send multiple people per pool down, so let's just have, if you're a DPS, just try to stand in a pool, see what it does, because you can keep damaging the boss while you're in the Delirium Realm. That's kind of the point. And if you die, you're safe because you'll just get sent back up. So there's nothing really to worry about. I think you're also hostile to everyone. Yeah, you're hostile to all other players while you're there. So just don't cleave each other.
But that means no healing.
Yes. But if you die down there, you get sent back up. And then you can go down again on the next pool.
Yeah, I was just thinking, don't send upper decker down on no cleat.
I'm going down.
She won't be able to help herself.
Down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
She'll go down there. Alliance.
Okay.
I wonder if you get Arnwill kills.
Well, that's the problem is you can't AoE down there because you'll kill everybody.
I'm not gonna like non-stop AoE, guys.
Okay, well, let's just see. I mean, worst case, you'll get
I wasn't
sent back
directing
up
that
a little fast.
at you particularly. I was directing that at everybody. Don't spam your AoE stuff because then you'll kill everyone. And yes, we'll just get sent back, but that kind of wastes going down.
Yep. And then there's some tentacles that'll slam around the edge of the room. Apparently, there's a targeting ground effect that you can see. Just you want to move out of. And then once he's at 50%, basically all of those realms become active in some capacity. So we have to manage between them. So Thalyssra is going to be standing somewhere with a portal that will let us kind of move back to the regular realm, which is the safest one. So now the thing that happens here is that he'll bubble himself and he'll do a cast. And once it's done, it'll kill us all. So that's why it's important to go to Delirium to be able to burn off that bubble very quickly. And then once you break it, it interrupts his cast automatically and he'll be stunned for a bit. And then he still does the void swirl, but I guess the mechanics that are visible, like mechanics affect everyone, but they're only visible in the realm that they are active in. So the eruption was only active in the fear realm because it was phase 2. So if the tanks are tanking him in the regular realm and the eruption appears in the fear realm, they don't know where it is. So somebody in the fear realm has to tell them where and put down a marker, basically.
Is there any drawback to the tanks actually going into the fear realm?
I have no idea.
I mean, it looks like there's two different ways that we could do it, where you stay in the normal realm and only go into fear realm for the mechanics, or you stay in the fear realm the whole and you get a bunch of stacks of hysteria that way.
Yeah. Let's
For
try.
normal, we could probably just go into the fear realm and take the stacks.
I'm gonna say, well, does someone have to be tanking the boss?
Yeah.
I mean, we could take the boss in
Okay.
the realm.
They have the mind.
Oh, okay.
You have the mind.
That's what I
link
didn't
thing, so
know is if you can tank the boss in another realm because you can't be in different realms because of the tether.
We could take him in
Right.
any realm.
But I'd like to try it with the marking and the moving, just because it seems to be the intended way, and we're gonna need it anyway.
The tanks don't.
So yeah, try staying in the regular realm, and then
You'll have to mark it for us.
Yeah,
JKM.
people in the. Do I have to go to the field realm then?
I mean, it should be DPS and like half the healers or something.
Well, in which realm? Oh, the fear realm. Okay.
To kill the ads and then come back as soon as possible.
And then you go into the fear realm with the portals that the summoners spawn, I think, right? Yeah, the portal into the fear realm and 3 horrific summoners, and those do the same thing as phase 1, where they spawn the little thing. So people have to be in the fear realm anyway to kill the ads and to kill the little spawns. And so we'll have a lot of people down there. So just throw down, everybody has the ability to put down markers. So just if you see
we
the
don't.
thing, oh, you don't. I thought the ground markers anybody could do. Is that not the case?
Not right now. Not unless you give us assist.
All right. Well, I'll do the ground.
Give
marker.
everyone assist.
I'll go down to fear and do the markers. And then let's see. So yeah, everybody, when those summoners spawn, basically, is there any reason why not all the DPS should go down? I don't see one.
So I'll go down to fear realm
to kill the ads.
Yeah. during
when
phase
the ads
4.
are up. Yep. And then I think you can go to when you go once they're all dead, you can go to Thalyssra, and she'll give you when you stand near her, you get an extra action button you can do to come back out of the fear realm.
Okay. The realms aren't going to be overlapping during phase 4.
I mean, they probably will. I imagine there will be a need for like delirium and fear, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know how the overlaps are gonna.
Yeah,
And
'cause
then
I'm just thinking if he got bubbles whilst we're all in fear and we need people in delirium to burn that off.
Yeah, we'll just. I don't know how you go into delirium either. So
It's with
maybe
void
it's
zones from the boss.
the same thing.
Yeah, he puts down the 3 void zones and you have to
Okay.
At
So
least
yeah,
that's
let's-
how it is in phase 3. In phase 4, I think it comes from the.
It says portals.
Yeah, and you
Take
can.
fear portal in
Yeah, you
phase
take
4.
the portal to the
Not
fear
the
realm.
fear.
And if you go to delirium with the orange circles, you can always come back immediately when Thalyssra's up. So say you go down in delirium and you're there and there's too many people there and the ads are up, then you can run to the middle, go to Thalyssra, come out, go to the fear portal, take the fear portal, and you'll be fine. And then
The dispel buff is upgraded in phase 4.
Yes, it is. It will drop a zone that'll explode in an AoE that we need to stay out of, and leaves a puddle. Oh, so that's how you get to the delirium realm. You stand in it. So he doesn't do the 3 orange circles in front of him, I guess.
Delirium's descent is only in phase 3.
Okay. So that's how you get in. So it seems like it's pretty simple then to move back between realms. You can stand in one of the pools to get sent to delirium. You can go back to Thalyssra to come back to the regular one. You can go to the fear portal when it's up to go to fear realm, and that's the only time you'll need to go there.
And with the little ads and the fear, are we just expecting to be able to cleave them down as they come out?
You should be. We should be able to AoE them.
It looks
down
like the
with that.
delirium portals only take one person. from what
Oh,
I've
okay.
seen.
Well, you can all compete to see who gets it.
Let's put through it. Let's choose people. It doesn't have to be me. I don't care, but we should choose people.
Well, you want higher DPS people
Well,
who
phase
like
2 it doesn't really matter because whatever phase it's up for the first time doesn't really matter because there's bubble.
No,
doesn't
I'm
come
talking
up
about
there.
phase 3. Delirium portals only show up in phase 3. That's for the delirium.
Oh, I see. The pool, you mean?
He'll put the boss will put 3 circles in front of them, and then they're just for one person. They put in the stand in, and then they go.
I definitely Savish should go down in 1 because 80% haste on an assassin rogue is just sick.
Well, let's experiment the first time. Just everybody, you try to have multiple people in the delirium portals and see what happens. The second phase or the last phase, when the way to get down is to stand in the caustic delirium, we can send individual people pretty easily. Okay, but let's run a poll and then we'll break, just so people can think about what they've seen.
Low quality.
When do we last?
Yeah.
Probably the last phase.
Okay.
During the first few phases, are there portals, or do we just automatically end up in?
We get sent down. We get transported between realms, except for Delirium, which has the little ground effect. But Fear, everybody will get sent down.
Okay.
We're gonna lust. Let's try to lust on the first bubble in the last
5,
phase.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The end approaches.
Here comes Drat. There's one.
Me. I'm also Dread.
Portal of Madness.
The ads are up. You should be killing the caster ads and AoEing the. There's the portal for the tentacle. You see it? kill that last vision in the back.
Ranged.
There's the big pole that we're moving.
Crushing grasp.
There's the tentacle again. Get away from that void zone on the ground over where the boss. That does damage to everyone that's near it. Now he takes extra damage.
Crushing grasp.
There we go. Here comes Hysteria.
Delirium's descent.
Or Delirium.
Madden's eruption.
There's the pools.
Stand away from it.
I was gonna take the portal.
Visions are up. Just AoE them down.
Crushing grasp.
Here comes the tentacle. Where is it?
Puncture darkness. Delirium's descent.
Delirium Descent is up.
And more DPS is down.
DPS keep going down.
Where do you
It's
go
okay
down
if you-
from?
The big orange circles.
Mechanics.
I'm either lagging out or I disconnected.
Oh, you're dead.
I am dreaded. Not even thanks.
We will not succumb to madness.
Nope, we're already in the last phase.
Champions, I will hold open the portal to reality for as long as I can. Dark passage.
There's the fear gates. Everybody go down. Or the DPS and healers. And then damage the guys down here.
How do I go down?
There's the eruption.
How do you go down?
With Belisra. Belisra.
Nope, wrong.
Larissa takes you back. Alright,
You
marker's
have to
going
go
down.
to
An extra action.
Next marker's down. Take him there.
Am I in the wrong place?
Puncture darkness. Crushing grasp.
We got it.
Make sure we're killing the casters down here.
Kai is Tay the only healer that's up here.
We were told to go down.
Only half of the healers should go down.
No, we went ahead and sent everyone.
That's a dumb thing to do.
You did such a good job keeping yourself up.
Crushing grasp.
No, I'll go down for the marking, and then I'll just take one other first.
Madden's eruption.
I am dead.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of people did. But it
I
looks
didn't see
like
the fear portal. I saw the delirium portal. What is the fear portal exactly?
it's
Like
the,
you see that for a big summoner right now.
it's the one with the big eye.
B-Res, JK.
I clicked on that and
No,
it
it's
did
fine,
nothing.
just die.
Am I supposed to click on it?
Extra action button.
Yeah, it'll
Okay.
give you an extra
Pop up.
action button when you stand on top of it.
I'll have to check again. I didn't see that, but I'll check it.
buddy. Crushing grasp.
I tried to escape. Hopefully.
That's a really long cast.
It looks like you should leave a couple of people up with the boss because you're getting visions all over the place.
Well, the visions down, they're in the fear realm too, and you can damage them down there.
Yeah, the delirium portals definitely only take one person. So
The 3 on the ground only
Yeah.
take one person.
Yep.
Is it when you step into it or when it like
it's
explodes?
when it goes. It's a soak. So if people don't soak
Spires.
it, we take damage.
I see.
So 3 people need.
Do you
Alright.
want to just also send the tanks into the fear realm? I don't know why we need to stay in the normal realm. We can come back after the ads are dead.
Yeah, that seems
break?
the damage doesn't seem that bad.
Are we taking a
and-
break now?
Yes, we are.
Like, is there
Cool.
anything that's in the normal realm that can't be seen in the fear realm?
I don't think so. It's just the damage, and the damage didn't seem that bad.
They
so you
said
can tell that
something.
was com-
They said something unquestionably ethic about if you needed, we needed to mark something in the fear realm that the tanks, so
Yes.
the tanks could see it on normal.
That was the marker that I was putting down. But if they're
Okay.
down in the fear realm with us, then they can see it.
Then
and
they
so
can
don't
see
need the
it, yeah.
marker.
If the whole raid is down there, we should be fine because it did not seem that horrible.
Yeah, well, I'm still not sure where the stupid portal, because
It
I
was.
never got a.
I don't know either. I tried to go down and I couldn't. So
It's
I
the
don't-
one that spawns next to the ad, the caster ad, where he's channeling. It has a big orange eye in the middle. If you stand on top
I
of it,
did.
it should give you an extra
It
action
did
button. To
nothing.
make sure your UI settings expose that.
Okay. So we're all gonna go down in that then. The whole raid. Crunchy's trying to get intel on how far ahead they are of us. They start their raid 1 hour earlier than us.
What? They're ahead of us?
Yeah, they start an hour early. That's same plan Les Dying, who finished 19 minutes before us. And they were 5 out of 8 on Tuesday.
So they've beaten this boss?
They just beat him, and they've done like 1 pull. They only had time for 1 pull, or maybe 2 on Ashara. And he's like, "Oh, Zakul's so hard," and it looks like Ashara might actually be easier.
Sora looks super complicated.
We'll have another cauldron when I'll get back.
Rira? Are you there?
I am.
What do you what do you do with Frost Shock?
It's only if you have an Ice Fury build. The
Checking is back.
You've been using it.
Yeah, I have
You're
an Ice
using
Fury
it.
build. Yeah.
Talent that
What
makes
does that
Frost Shock
mean?
actually viable for damage.
It
What are-
when you cast Ice Fury, your next 4 Frost
What the
Shocks
fuck is Ice
do 200%
It's a talent.
damage.
The talent.
Look at your talents, man.
Literally never heard of that.
It's a way to give Frost some viability on the on the
No,
or not
he's
Frost,
a
but
shaman.
Elemental. I meant Elemental. I meant
If you have Igneous potential on at least 2 of your pieces, it's the best single target build there is. Right now, we'll find out. They may nerf it on over the weekend.
Okay, looks like everyone's here.
I can't look at my talents.
If they're so we're gonna just do a 3-person delirium team, so we'll just have Upper Decker, Savash, and Rira do it. And then in the last phase, you three will also be the ones soaking the caustic whatever and going down and trying to stay down as long as you can and coming back up. Everybody else will go down to the Fear Realm together in the last phase. It looks like I was surprised how quickly we got to 50%, but
It
the whole fight.
So which one only allows 1 person down at a time? Is it the orange circles
It's orange,
or the
3 orange
portals?
circles in front of the boss. Just be looking in
Okay.
front of the boss
Yep.
for and you see 3 orange circles.
Three-
Also,
3 more
Jake-
circles will pop up before.
yes, it's
the
true. We will
first
get
team
another set of
comes
people.
back.
Okay. If that's the case, then we'll assign some more.
And JCam, can you put a marker by the fear portal for us visually challenged idiots?
I'll put one down when it comes up on the last phase. Yeah, there should be 3 of them, so you can.
Purple. It's
Yeah.
purple with a looks like a golden eye in it. When you run up to it, you get a special action.
Yeah,
Just
it
go
looks like
stand
the-
near one of the summoners, and you'll get your extra action button.
It looks like the Dark Moon Fair Eye.
Yeah. it does.
The Eye of Sauron.
I think
That-
in phase, what is it, 3, 2, whatever ones that is the only delirium one where he does the circles. He wasn't doing the circles in the last phase, right? Were you seeing? I don't think he was, but so in that phase, we'll send our the 3 assigned people down first, and then second cast, you guys can just free for all it. It doesn't really matter. Those people are needed for assignments because in the last phase, I think the pace is such that they'll be cycling continuously and it'll be exactly at the pace at which we gain the caustic delirium pools. But that phase lasts very short, so I think you can just go down and have fun.
When do you want
DPSing.
list?
Last phase when he
Okay,
does
phase
his
4,
first
okay.
bubble, because that's the one we got to burn off. And then you should save like pots and
Take
DPS
blasts.
cooldowns for the second bubble.
Finish off the cauldron.
Any other questions? It seems like the little ads were dying fast enough, and as long as people were attentive and switching to the caster ads, they were also dying pretty quickly. The dispel seemed okay. The what's it called?
Dealy?
The thing that makes you
Hysteria?
drop the void pools, whatever it's
Dread.
Manifest nightmares.
That's the one.
Yes, Manifest Nightmares, that one. So that one, it drops like the big kind of rune-looking circles under you, and it does look like the rate at which they tick and drop off of you is much slower than the Gul'dan one. So you want to drop it, move to the edge of the one you just dropped, drop the next one, move to the edge, and so on. And you can just leisurely walk between them, and it was okay. But make sure you
Okay.
take them out of the raid, and don't stand in them if you're not one of those people. All right.
My bad, I'm ready. Just Melissa. There we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The end approaches. None can escape Nizal's grasp. Your psyche will break.
There's Dread.
Portal of Madness.
Portals are up. Here come the ads.
Crushing Grasp.
Make sure you're switching. Here comes the tentacle portal right next to the boss. Get out of the. Here comes Fear.
Corruption. Crushing Grasp.
Moving to the portal. There's the tentacle also. Don't be in the. Be away from that circle on the ground. It's gonna damage you.
Punctured Darkness.
There we go.
And then burn him.
Your psyche will break.
Crushing Grasp.
There's a tentacle directly behind the boss. Don't be in the line. There's the 3 circles.
Get up.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm all the way away. Yeah,
Try
they
and not go.
disappeared. They disappeared.
Go down on the next one. Make sure you take the rune circles to the edges. See how they're in the middle right now. Yep, the manifest. Good job.
They disappeared.
Here comes the crushing grasp. There it is. Don't be in the middle.
Delirium's Descent.
Don't be
Oh.
near that.
Yeah.
The problem.
Just yeah. Maybe I can. Nope.
Don't be near the.
That's the middle.
Kill those ads in the middle.
Can we res up our decker?
Oh.
Go ahead and use it.
I thought when you're down there and you died, you came back.
We weren't down there because we didn't have.
Oh.
Crushing Grasp.
Here comes crushing grasp.
We will not
Look at where the portal is.
Champions, I will hold open the portal to reality for as long as I can.
Alright, we're in phase 4.
Your psyche will
Alright, we're all gonna go down to fear when the first portals appear. There's the first caustic delirium. Portals are coming soon. There they are.
Maddening
Markers up.
Crushing Grasp.
People who aren't going down need to move out of those.
Everybody's going.
No, not the wrong realm, not your realm.
can escape Nizal's
Make sure you're killing the casters and the little lads. Tanks, you need to come down.
You know, I'm down.
Better.
Crushing Grasp.
I don't see Zedder, so
I don't see Zedder either.
The void gathers.
Yes, his bubble. Shouldn't we be lusting?
grab him back.
Maddening Corruption.
Psyche will break.
Dark.
It's near Skull again. The tank thing. Where you drag him.
Crushing Grasp.
Crushing grasp. Take him a little further. A little further to the edge.
Enter darkness. Crushing grasp.
Comes tentacle.
We're
Go
over
burn the
that,
middle.
so we should be going back, right?
It's fine.
We're okay so far. Let's just stay here.
So I can't res Zephyr. It's
Maddening
probably
eruption.
because corpse is in another dimension.
Yes.
None can escape Nizal's grasp. The void gathers.
Burner shield.
Move, Larissa.
Punctured darkness.
Your psyche will break.
Dark passage.
It's right next to him. Or no, never mind. These are the summoners.
Crushing grasp.
Just focus the boss. Don't worry about the edge.
Almost dead. Oh.
Your mind.
Good job. Yeah, I forgot to tell us to go back up to regular realm after they.
Nicely done. It's so rare for monsters
After what?
to my expectations.
After we
kill the
kill all the
ads.
casters, there's no reason to stay in the fear realm.
That
We just end up taking extra
human
hysteria
novice
damage, which
and the
wasn't
pale
that
of the
big of
Derpy
a
ass
deal.
man.
Ah well, acceptable losses.
Pretty stupid.
What is
He's
this?
so cute.
Now, is
Jump
that
off.
any way to
What does
repay
this
me
person
for
drop?
my generosity? For the privilege I have seen fit to grant you.
Okay, we need to kill Ashara quick.
Come, heroes. Prove yourselves worthy.
I
Find me
want a
in the
fucking
circle of stars.
weapon.
I want the trinket she drops.
I want all the pets.
At last, the final preparations are in place.
Alrighty. This is the LOS boss.
Captive audience.
Oh, it works on healing too. Wonderful.
Stay vigilant, champions. Ajara conceals schemes within schemes. She wants something.
You must indulge the theatrical nature of tonight's entertainment. We have waited so very
Alright,
long for
this has a
moment,
billion
and
mechanics,
we
so we're gonna
simply
try to go
cannot
through as quickly as
resist
possible.
savoring
Do you can see the circle that we're standing on right now? There's two more like it around the edge of the platform, and then there's one in the middle. The three on the edge are these wards that will have an. If you also have a little diagram in the top right of your screen, you should see it, where they will also have little health bars, I'm pretty sure, that will show how much energy they have. Basically, if all three of them reach 0 energy, we lose immediately. And various mechanics in the fight will try to lower the energy, and we have to keep it up. The main way to keep it up is to run through this circle and stand in it for a second and then move back out. Each time it ticks on you, it'll reduce your maximum health by 10%, and it'll grant some energy to the ward. I don't know how long is it. It says it was super long. Drained soul, 1.8 minutes, so it's pretty bad. And it stacks, so if you stand in there for too long, you'll lose a ton of health. So everybody needs to be proactive about knowing how many stacks they have and moving in and granting some extra energy. Okay, so that's the main kind of ward management thing. You just need to be aware of where they are and which one you need to run to in order to recharge. The first phase, there's if you see the two, well, no, where are they? I don't know where they'll appear from, but there's two Naga that will be tanking at the beginning. They have separate health pools, and we want them to die roughly at the same time again. And they basically have two phases, one where they want to be within line of sight of each other, and one where they want to be out of line of sight of each other. And generally speaking, they want to not see each other, and then occasionally they will ask to see each other. But if they do see each other, they end up gaining, or if we don't do the right thing, right? If we let them see each other when they shouldn't, or take them out of line of sight when they should see each other, they gain a bunch of haste and damage, and it's really.
Oh, kill him! Kill her!
Oh, now it makes you hostile.
It was rude. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You guys can't kill him.
Let the bone storm.
Why are you killing me?
You were hostile.
I do spit and it does the thing that I'm doing. Do spit.
No.
It makes you puke everywhere. Okay, and then the bosses also have individual abilities where there's lightning orbs that drop from the sky. They're kind of like the void crashes on Cabal and Unot, except you'd never want to stand in them. So they'll bounce 2 or 3 times, and then they will disappear. So just don't. And if they hit you, they'll also get soaked. But you generally just want them to bounce.
Sorry.
Were you saying something?
No, it's not important.
Okay. And then there's a chain lightning from the caster that is interruptible, which you should always interrupt. There's a tank debuff that forces them to switch, but they'll handle that. And the melee boss also has one. And then the last thing is the spear from the melee boss, which will put a big mark over you when you're targeted. And he'll fling a spear at the person, and whoever it hits along the way will take damage. And once the person gets hit, it'll also do damage to them. And it'll do damage to the whole raid. You want to take it. It says 100 yards, so honestly, I think we're just gonna we'll just take it out of the raid slightly and just heal through the damage. 100 yards is pretty far.
I'm putting down the feast now.
And then once we kill those two, we get to the first intermission of 6 phases. So there's arcane orbs that spawn, and you stand in them in order to soak them, and they'll disappear after a few seconds of being soaked. And then there's decrees like there were on 2 bosses ago, where there's one called Suffer, where you have to soak an orb. There's one called Obey, where you don't soak an orb. There's Stand Together, where you need to stand with with other people who are affected by it. That puts a arcane purple circle around you, I believe. And then Stand Alone puts a kind of watery lightning circle around you, and that you have to stand by yourself. And then there's Stay, which is don't move. So you'll get one of those probably, or maybe 2. I think Heroic gives you 2, but normal should only give you 1. So you just need to follow that instruction. And if you fail, then you gain a stack of a debuff, which will stack up and kill you if you do too much. And then once all the orbs are gone, then the phase transition. Generally speaking, the people who get the Suffer debuff are the most important. You need to be the ones to soak the orbs. Okay, then phase 2, Ashara's active, and she activates the rune in the middle, which is the one that she charges up with. There's a tank debuff, which they'll handle. There's I missed the beckon. In phase 1, this happens too. She'll mind control somebody, and you'll walk towards the center in phase 1. And if you reach the center before that mind control expires, then you'll get trapped in a bubble, which we have to break you out of. If you stand at the edge of the circle when that cast is going off, then you should not make it to the center and you should be fine. Also, if you remember I think which boss is it? Maybe I'm imagining things. Oh, I missed the Hulk and everything. I don't know why I missed it. Apparently there some mechanic puts pools on the ground that you can walk through, like that siren on Blockade, to slow you down, but generally if you just stand near the edge it should be fine, and just be ready to break people out in the middle if you have. And then she will occasionally in phase 1, when the 2 Naga are up, throws up summons a Hulk, which will, this looks like Bile does right now, and it will run over to one of the
Excellent
wards.
demonstration.
So here, Bile will go run over to one of the wards, and try, and it'll start casting ground pound, and you can stun that the first time, but after that it becomes immune. But you want to stun it the first time, then and just kill it, because if that cast goes off, it drains energy from the ward. Okay. So that will drain the ward. Also, Azshara will choose a ward and drain it, and that will completely drain it over 10 seconds. So somebody needs to run in and grab a stack, preferably multiple people. Up to 10 can do it, because it's 100 power, so 10 power for 10 seconds. And then the arcane orbs that are happening in the intermission happen in phase 1 as well. I just skipped an entire section of this guide, I guess. But that in phase 1, anybody can soak them. You don't have the decrees. And then the intermission, you do have the decrees and you have the orbs. So that's fine. We've gone over. Yeah, phase 2, when she does beckon, you'll get dragged to her instead of to the middle, but the same rules apply. If you get slowed, if you stand far away, it'll be better because you won't get yanked in. If you get yanked in, you'll get the bubble, and I think it mind controls you too, but if you break the bubble off of them, then you get turned back to normal, but generally you want to just be far away. Okay. And she'll drain whatever ward she's closest to, or charge up the one in the middle, depending on where she is. So we are going to probably be moving her around the room as we go. And then there's Arcane Detonation, where you have to LOS the explosion using either this console here that we're standing in front of. Any LOS mechanic, like with the line of sight with the first bosses, is done either with this console or with these big statues on either side. And she will summon adds in phase 2 that try to run to the ward of power in the middle. You can knock them back, slow them, stun them, whatever. Ring of Peace is good for the center. Particularly the Indomitable one needs to be killed because it charges up more energy to the center. I don't remember what happens in the center. If it gets charged up, maybe it kills us or something. Or it does, as it gets charged up, she does more damage, so it'll probably kill us. Same thing, intermission 2 is the same with the decrees, except there's one that tells you to keep moving called March, but otherwise you got to soak the orbs and kill whatever adds are left. Okay, phase 3 of 4. So long. There's the Myrmidon, which does the Myrmidon ad, which does the spear, the same thing as the phase 1 guy does. And there's a Tide Mistress that does you get 2 of them, they're each on an ancient ward, and they do the same chain lightning cast as the mini boss in phase 1. And then they also put a debuff on people that makes you run out. They will drain or energize the ward, and they'll also, the drain and energize is interruptible, but the key mechanic is that they'll shield themselves periodically. And if they're shielded, when you get targeted by the charged spear, you need to run it through that Tide Mistress behind it so that it hits her, and it'll deplete the shield and let you interrupt again. So it's kind of like that first boss in Eye of Ashara, where you try to run the spears through the Naga heads.
So they basically took every mechanic they had from a past boss and put them in on.
Yep, it's just a big combination of those things. And then there's the beckon still happens, but if there's if you're near somebody else who has it and you have it, then you both get jealous of each other and you try to race to be the first to reach her. So you just want to be spread for that. Okay, and then phase 4, there's an eye beam that I'm told is kind of like the frost beam on Jaina. And then there's a portal, which apparently just makes you take damage, so you just stay out of. It's just a rift. And then she overcharges the console, which I guess we each, like, if you click on the console, you see how it's interactable right now. Don't click on it now, but it'll be interactable. If you right click it, then it'll do damage to the raid and apply a random effect. It sounds like it's one person can do it, so I guess I'll just go ahead and try to do it. It does damage to the raid and also puts a random effect on them. And if we don't get rid of the overloaded energy fast enough, it'll just release all that at once and, do a bunch of damage and apply these random effects. So there's a random effect that empowers a DPS player for 40 seconds and then they die. There's one that puts a dot on somebody and does a ton of damage to them over a minute. And then one that completely depowers a war. I don't know. I think that just means that that's the enrage timer. So we gotta. I don't know if you can recharge them again once they reach 0, but it's 8:11, so or 6:11, 9:11, 11:11, whatever time zone you're in. So let's just get some pulls in.
Yeah, let's learn by doing.
Let's see how many people went AFK during the explanations.
Well, this is she's not even attackable.
I'm gonna click the console.
Do we get in combat immediately?
I have no idea.
We'll find out.
1.
Nope, apparently.
It takes time to power up, I guess.
I call the cursed lovers to enter the stage.
What are you
There's
gonna
like
use
some
to
RP.
LOS?
We're taking it to the console.
Okay.
Cold blast.
Yet their gaze incurs calamity.
Painful memories. Lightning orbs.
There's lightning orbs. Don't stand in them.
Cold blast.
There's the spear. Run it out.
There is no power I cannot defile.
Lightning orbs.
There's the big guy. Go DPS him.
Ground pound. Father. Ground pound. Torment. Heart.
You are
Cold blast.
Beckon people are moving to the middle. Be ready to break him out if you have to. Nope, looks like you're good. Run that out.
Cold blast.
You
Arcane
grow
orbs.
complacent. Allow me
There's
to
the orbs that we soak.
field.
Cold blast. Lightning orbs. Wow.
Lightning, don't stand in it.
Cold blast. Longing. Longing.
Alright, now they want to see each other.
Just like Jada and Thrall.
Oh,
Lightning
we're gonna see some hot Naga set.
Lightning.
What I want.
Cold blast.
There is no power
I like how you assume that it's gonna be hot.
What else could it
It's gonna be
It's
cold.
gonna be wet.
Pretty far away.
Torment. Cold blast.
Slimy.
Lightning orbs. Torment. Torment.
There's the big guy again.
Ground blast. Infuriated.
Kill the big guy. Stun him.
We got wards that are under half of health, so people should be getting in them.
Grab a stack. Alright, you've got your decrees. People who have the soak decree, arcane circle stand together. If you have the soak one, you have to stand in the arcane.
In this phase, it's
You
just
can't reach upper decker.
Alright, here we go. She's about to appear. So be ready to use the statue for LOS when she does the explode. Look at your stacks of the energy debuff. If you don't have any, go stand in one of them that's low energy and go recharge it. Ads are up. Kill the big one first.
Another heart soon
Whoa.
to be broken. Kneel before your queen.
Beckon's coming. Be out. Go far.
Arcane detonation.
Alright, now break LOS, run behind the pillar. Watch the energy on the wards. The top left one needs some.
I mean, there should always be people adding to it, 'cause that's what we're taking.
Already gave ticks.
If you don't have the debuff, go give ticks 2-1.
Add.
How disappointing.
There's the Indomitable. You gotta go burn it.
Sweet res, Savash. Oh god.
From darkness, sirens come forth. Coax the power from these ancient wards. Rattle the chains that bind him.
Oh no, Zed, you shouldn't do that.
Azara is drawing upon the heart of
Here's
Azeroth.
the intermission again.
My best life.
You have 100,000 health.
Come to this realization.
Yeah, Ticks can't suck the thing.
Zetter has no health.
Champions,
See the truth now, don't you, heroes? Every move you
Keep
lead
obeying
has been
your
according to my
Alright, there we go.
will. That lumbering dwarf believed you could save Azeroth by empowering your
Look on the
shiny
ward.
little heart.
There's
Of a sleeping
the Nimrodon is. Make sure you're interrupting the drain.
Titan's heart was
If you get
exactly what was needed.
if you get targeted by the spear, take it to one of the
Shatter the
um,
prison
Baller.
of a god. Such delicious irony.
There's attacker.
Depower.
Everybody's constantly line-of-sighted.
Yeah, it's annoying.
The ritual
If you're dying and you're not getting healed, you're probably line of sight.
shield is up. Yeah, whatever.
Also, really easy to get too many stacks. It really takes your health off quickly.
Yeah, I didn't see any indicator for the stacks. Then I stepped into one of those things, and all of a sudden I went up.
that ward going down, what does that mean? What does it mean for the fight?
Take a bunch of damage.
If all three go down, we die immediately.
So where is everybody supposed to be standing while they're tanking them there?
So the problem in that phase is that when the caster ads spawn on top of we're going to be all spread out anyway trying to kill them.
Okay, where are they spawning? Are they
Right on these circles.
On top of these
okay?
circles.
So they're going to
three.
be like if you're standing in the middle, they're going to be LOS.
So we
you
need to
because-
assign healers to each of these wards for that.
We'll go ahead and
Because
mark
there was no, but there was like half the raid was.
I feel like if you, I guess I can
line of
stand over
sighted.
here. I feel like if you stand here,
No.
you can't get both of them. You don't think?
I could
People
get
that are standing
those two.
Yeah, but Titan console
But
line
yeah,
of sight
and then
is just as
somebody,
much
and then
as the
one
statue.
or two healers up there, and then a couple in the middle, so they can get the people.
Maybe.
Yeah, I noticed that
Okay.
Loon with
Maybe-
the blue was constantly low.
Tay, maybe if you stand where I am, look at this. You might be able to get.
Yeah, because if the melee are actually behind the Titan console hitting someone that's here, then someone that's
This
in the center of
LOS?
the room isn't going to be able.
Yes, it does.
This LOS, this thing right here. Go
Yes,
stand in the middle.
Yes, the Titan console LOSs.
Yep.
That's what we were using it for in phase 1.
We have
And
to use it
that's-
because they can't see each other some of the time.
Okay.
It makes them.
Let's try one more
emo.
time.
They write poetry and cut themselves.
Where are
Do
you
you
going to be
want-
tanking her in that phase? Near blue?
I mean, we just pick one of the pillars that isn't empowered, basically.
Okay.
Do you want those two ads to die about the same time, or
I don't think that one. In the last phase, it doesn't matter. We want.
Can get
Were we
Black
supposed to
Rocks?
lust at the beginning of Ashura?
No, we want to probably do it in a later phase.
Why?
We were in
Why?
phase 3, right? I mean, the later phases are more dangerous, so we want to get through them faster.
Okay.
So the Tide Mistresses, I don't know if we can lock down both of them at the same time. We just need to kill them, I think. So probably better just to burn one and send people to interrupt the other one.
yeah, where are you going to hold that big ad, that third big ad that shows up? Because was getting line of sighted on it. So
It'll
where-
probably just be near the boss, right? Because you'll be tanking her and the big ad.
Talking about
No,
when
during phase 1.
it
Okay,
always goes
phase
here.
1.
It just goes here. That's where it goes.
Yeah, it seemed to
It
always
just
go to this
runs.
one.
It focuses on.
That
It's not
one's
tankable. It
tankable,
goes
it just
there and
runs to
starts
a
to break
ward.
the ward or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. It's trying to.
Because it sounded like that was the highest priority when
Yes.
it does show up.
That is always the highest priority, and always stun it when it's doing its first ground pound cast. Anyway, we got 5 minutes left, so let's just do another pull. Then we can review. So we didn't even get to phase 4.
Yeah,
I guess
but
you don't
like-
need a countdown. You can just start it.
Yeah, like I say though, those rooms really tick quickly, so you kind of step in and step up.
Yeah, you see an animation; it'll light up when it works on.
For one another, yet their gaze
Hold
incurs
blast.
calamity.
Nice, Chanta.
Painful memories.
Be gone from my gaze!
Torment. Lightning horns. Hold blast.
There's no power I cannot defile.
So now there's the purple things on the ground that you can use. Up, he's up. He's going to a
Big
different.
ad.
Big ad's up. He's going. Oh no, he's going back. Then what? Why'd you do that?
Ground pound.
You are mine.
Beckon.
Hold blast. Heart.
Spear is up. Just run it out.
Arcane lightning blast. Hold blast.
Arcane orbs are up.
Liven the field.
Hold blast. Longing.
I need you. Show yourself.
Lightning horns.
Don't get lightning. Fear.
There is no
Lightning
power
bolt. Painful
I
memories.
cannot defile.
Torment. Torment.
Big
Cold
ad.
blast. Ground pound.
Go in and burn her. Be ready for the
Queen's
instruct decree.
Allow me to liven the
Queen's decree.
field. I draw this ward with devoted blood, given willingly from a champion's frozen
We're
heart.
gonna go to blue. I have 16 stacks.
Watch the wards. Make sure you're energizing. Ads are up. Go to slow them. Stun. Knock back.
Another heart soon to be broken. Kneel before your queen.
Back and run out with that.
Back in.
More than damage off the shield.
Detonation.
Break LOS. Blue needs some, it looks like. If you don't have stacks, go stand in the blue ward
How
briefly.
disappointing.
Need somebody in there. I have 6 stacks. I can't.
Yeah, I have
I've got
7.
6 as well
I have
for another
6 as
45
well.
seconds.
Broken.
I have 7 and in 15 seconds I can stand in it.
Or most of that's too much. You gotta get out.
That was an awesome time to lag.
We cannot abide weakness. From darkness, sirens come forth.
Alright, here come the
Coax
ads.
the power from these ancient wards.
Oh no, never mind.
Rattle the chains that bind him.
Queen's decree. Azara is drawing
Alright,
upon the heart
follow
of
the
Azeroth,
instruction.
feeding its energies into her ritual.
You've only just come to this realization. First Arcanist indeed. You see the truth now, don't you, heroes? Every move you've made has been according to my
Want a DPS up?
Go ahead and just get people
That
up.
lumbering dwarf believed you could save
blue
Azeroth
charged
by
again.
empowering your shining little heart. The gift of a sleeping titan.
Here come the ads. Go to the casters. Damage them down.
Blue needs more power.
Not to heal
Pressure surge.
but to shatter the prison
Pressure
of a
surge.
god.
Blue's down.
Pressure surge.
Such
Pressure
delicious
surge.
irony.
Pressure
Yeah, I
surge.
sort of died trying to stop it, but sorry.
Pressure surge.
A pawn.
Pressure surge.
The ritual
Pressure
nears
surge.
completion.
Pressure
The Black
surge.
Empire rises.
So when one dies, it's kind of a wipe.
Yeah, I
Pressure
don't
surge.
recharge it.
Oh, is this another phase?
Pressure surge.
There will be no cause.
This is phase 3,
The
right?
ads coming out as
Pressure
phase
surge.
3.
Okay, how do we get the shields off of the ads?
You have to
use
run the
spear
spear from the
Oh, okay.
Myrmidon through them.
So if you get the Myrmidon spear, you need to run it there.
Yeah, which
should
means you
not
need
be
to be really
attacking them.
close, because I had the spear on me and I wasn't that far from her, and I still didn't get there fast.
Yeah. So we shouldn't be killing the Myrmidon first, because we need her to throw spears.
Yes, you want to kill the casters first. Hey, let's go ahead and portal out. So it looks like we're okay handling everything until phase 3. So it gets a little dicey there. Let's figure out what the right thing
Good
is
to
to
see
do.
it a
and
couple times.
Go from
What's the plan for next week? Are we re-clearing on normal, or are we just
yes,
doing
re-clear on normal. I won't be here on Tuesday, but you can probably 3-heal or whatever the early bosses. And then we will probably just, from the second clear, so that starts next week, we'll probably just extend until we do normal. We finish normal.
Yeah.
And then we'll start on heroic.
Nothing looks horrible normally already. Even that's not. That's just getting used to the mechanic.
And it's nice to